Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Welcome one and all. Today is June the 2nd of 2020. This is episode 17 of Pop Culture Warrior. This is the show where I stay up to date on all the ins and outs of what's happening in pop culture, so you don't have to. I am CQ. I am your pop culture scout, and with me as always is the meth to my Joe Exotic, right? The voice of the unpop cultured, the resplendent Mr. Radar. How you doing, buddy?
I'm just being resplendent.
You like that? I thought of a good one this week.
So, man.
Go ahead.
How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hanging in there. So finally got some curtains for the windows above me. So that's nice. That's always a good good thing.
Helps the
You can think of it. You got it.
Fuck, dude. I'm trying to do my co-host shit here, right? And usually on Facebook we get the notification, right?
Yeah.
Didn't get any fucking notification, so I'm sitting here waiting. And I know we're talking, right?
Yeah.
I know we are doing things.
And
I can see us on Mixer, but nothing on Facebook. So I have to go manually do it, and I'm trying to do it, and I just got
and I'm giving you the third degree, trying to get you to talk and all these different things. It's all right. It's okay. We still love you, buddy. We still love you.
So, okay. So what are you? You showed the coronavirus beard.
Yeah. Trimmed it down. No, I trimmed it down a bit, but still, since we're on like a quasi lockdown, I figured keep it for a little bit longer. And I'll give you a little secret behind the scenes. I'm working on a little video, and I actually did want to shave it and go back to my normal look, but the video is about halfway done, and so I'm gonna have to shoot a couple more things, and so it would look really weird if halfway through the video or in different sections, because I'm not recording it in sequential order. So it would be weird if I jump in and out of a beard in this video. So it's going to stick around for just a little longer so I can finish that fun little video project I'm doing. And then I get to share it with all you guys. And then I can share it.
Is it a porn? Because sometimes porn just require beards. Just say it.
That's a beard of a different type. What's up, guys? How y'all doing? Look, we got Miguel, Jose, Kevin. We got a bunch of people. We got Wallbreaker. What's up there doing his thing? We got quite a few folks already jumping on, man. I appreciate y'all being here. This is gonna be a fun show. This is gonna be a really fun show. Got a lot of really cool topics to cover, and then we'll have an amazing guest. Second hour. Oh my God, this guy is amazing. Let me tell you something. We got Adam Keys coming on the show. Right? He's a veteran. He's a comedian. This is a guy who, and he's gonna tell his story. I don't want to step on his story, but he's a triple amputee, and this guy does more with his life than any of us, than all of us probably combined. This guy is a true killer, man. This guy is awesome. He's got an incredible story. He's funny as hell. So I'm really looking forward to the second hour where we're gonna get to talk to him. So that's gonna be fun. And if you guys have any questions for Mr. Adam Keys, you throw them in the chats and we'll hit him with them when he comes on later as well. What's up, guys? I see everybody. You throw a shout. If you guys are watching, man, say something in the comments. Let's give you a shout out. Thank you for watching. We got 30 something people watching live, man. Hit us up. Let us know you're there. Say hi. I also want to remind you guys that we do have the social medias. Let's see if I can get that on screen. Hey, social medias. There it is. Whoop, there it is. Website, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We're on Mixer. We're on all that stuff. So check us out. Right now on the Pop Culture Warrior Facebook page, we're sitting at about 230 something likes. When we hit 250, we're going to have a big giveaway. Everyone is automatically entered. So share the page. Get your friends to like it so we can start giving shit away. Right? Doesn't that sound like a good idea? Do you like that?
I'll share the shit. I should share that. I'm on it. I liked it. I liked it.
You liked it. You liked it.
I liked it on both my radar page, and I liked it on my own personal, on my real book.
What's up, Doc? We see you in the chats. What's going on, brother? Right. See, that's what I'm talking about. Say what's up, man. Jose, what's up, bro? How you doing? Yeah. So okay. So we did our intros. There's so much to talk about, man. I want to dive right into it. So you ready to get geeky with me, bro?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So let's talk. I'm gonna do that. Oh, and I've got sound effects. So check this out. Ready? Hold on. Listen. Shh. Listen. Right? I don't know. Did that come through okay? I don't know if it came through enough, but I don't know if it's loud enough. It's kind of quiet. I always get worried now because when we used to do the sound effects, they were so loud. So I turned them all way down. I might have over-adjusted, but that's okay. Got a little TV.
Fairness, I can only hear you through Skype, so I just...
Ah, that's right. That's true, too. I forget. You should be able... Oh, no, you can't, because that's the transition. Whatever. Point is, TV news. So Stargirl, which is DC CW's newest show, debuted about 2 weeks ago. I've seen the first 2 episodes. Just wanted to say, it's worth a watch. It's not bad. You know what I mean? If you guys are into the CW shows, you're into any of the Arrowverse shows, it's a decent show. You know, it's a young lady who's doing her thing and gets imbued with the powers cosmic and fighting crime and avenging justice, and it's all the good stuff. It's all the stuff we love, right? It's all the stuff we love in Flash and DC Legends of Tomorrow and Arrow and all those. So it's another good show, and we'll see if it keeps going. We got Kevin in the chats. What's up? Coming in from Houston. Hey, what's going on? I heard a rumor that Kevin's getting married later this week. So big congrats to you. Do I have a sound effect for that? Damn it.
I better be sending Radar some cake.
Cake. Hold on. For the wedding. Here we go.
Do it! Just do it!
I've got that queued up. Or there you go. Congratulations. All right. We're just having some fun here. Doc, what's going on, brother? He says he got staples removed today from brain surgery number 4. God bless you, man. Hey, thank you for being here, man. Hope you're doing well, recovering well. Whew, that's not pleasant. So we love you. We appreciate you for showing up, man. You got something to say, Radar?
Soon. Hope he feels better soon, man.
Yeah,
Sucks.
yeah. That's no bueno. Speaking from a guy who's had 40 surgeries the first 2 years after my incident, and then I've probably had another 7 to 10 since then. So 50 something surgeries. So I feel you, man. That's not fun, but Godspeed. Good recovery for you, man. More TV news. Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the final season, the last season of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. premiered last Wednesday, the 27th. Episode 2 drops tomorrow. It is, it's good. I mean, we're basing it off one episode, but I like what they're doing. They're back in the past. They're fighting evil while saving. It's a whole thing. They're saving evil to save good, to save the future in the past. Makes sense, right? All the usual, all in a day's work for the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But yeah, so that's looking good, and I have a feeling like they're going to, and they kind of haven't really tied into the movies for the last 2 or 3 seasons, and I have a feeling that since this is the big send off, since this is the big button on the end of it, I feel like they will kind of tie back into the Marvel universe at the end, like. They have all their time travel shit. They end up back in the present, but now it's like post Thanos, and they're like, "Holy shit, what did we miss?" And then that's kind of how they end it. So we'll see how that turns out, but it's good. Space Force. We've been talking about Space Force, the TV show, the Netflix show, for a while since it got announced. Have you seen it yet? Have you seen it on Netflix yet?
Oh, I didn't. I wanted to so bad. I really did. But there's something further down the list that apparently came before Space Force, at least in our house.
Right.
Not happy about it.
Okay, we'll cover that because I want to find out what this. No, but so Space Force, I've seen it. I watched the whole season. It is.
Did you?
I will say this. It is okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm I love comedy. I love comedy. Anybody that knows me knows that. And when you say that we've got a show from the creator of The Office with the star from The Office, and it's going to be like The Office but Space Force, that sets a very high bar. I don't feel like they hit that bar. Don't get me wrong, it's good. By itself, it is good. They've got some star-studded talent. What's his name? Crap, I can't think of, not Steve Carell.
On it.
John Malkovich. John Malkovich is stupendous. I mean, he's brilliant in this. He plays his character so freaking well. Steve Carell plays a kind of uptight, repressed 4-star general. I mean, he plays the character well in that he's sometimes likable and sometimes not. So I mean that he's going for stuffy, wound tight 4-star general, so that doesn't leave a room for a lot of humor and comedy. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a show that it will get picked up again. It will get picked up for a second season, and they will, I think, find their rhythm. For me, by far, the best episode of the whole season was episode 2. Actually, funny enough, I don't want to ruin it for you. I'm just gonna say it involves a chimpstronaut, a monkey astronaut, a chimpstronaut, and it's very like that. And funny, kind of dark funny, but funny, which is right up our alley as veterans, right? We're into the dark, funny kind of stuff. So very much appreciated.
Let me ask you this though. Let me ask you. Okay, if you had not seen The Office or not really been a fan of Steve Carell and his work, and you weren't expecting kind of one of his stereotypical characters, would it have been good? Like, put yourself like in that you just climbed out of a hole, you climbed out of your Corona bunker, right?
My Y2K bunker because I've been gone for a while.
Yeah, this would be the fucking we're gonna be there for 20 years. Come out to this shit. Oh my god, go back in.
You're like,
but anyway,
yeah, they were right.
I'm saying, like, if you had never seen the rest of it, right, and you come and you start watching this, would you like it then? Because I mean, like, I think you're doing what I do, where you have a certain expectation of these actors and this production staff. The Office is a good show,
yeah,
and that it's pretty big pants to fill, right? So without that kind of back note to it, if Steve Carell, this is his first work, would it be okay?
No, and I think that what I was trying to get at is it's good. It's not bad. It's definitely not bad. I think it kind of goes back from like meh to good. It kind of just fluctuates throughout the season, and I don't think it ever hits that like great bar. But let's remember, The Office, the first season was like panned. Like, it wasn't until second, third season where it really picked up its momentum and people fell in love with it and the characters really got cemented. So I definitely think there's a lot of, to me, this first season was a lot of buildup. And something that every show is doing now that really frustrates the ever loving shit out of me is every show is doing this like build up, and not really paying off anything. And it's almost like, that's next season's problem. We'll figure it out. You know, it's one thing to do a cliffhanger, but it's another thing to like leave like all these seeds, plant all these seeds in the first season, and then sow none of them. You know what I mean? Like, where it's like, what did this have to do with anything? Why did this happen? And like, there's no answers. There's no answers. So it's kind of like being in the military for real. You know, it's just sit there and take it and don't ask questions and do what you're told and enjoy it. We got people in the chat. Doc saying he wants to join the U.S. Space Force Reserves. Yeah, that's an option. But anyway, so talking about Space Force, basically, you know, it blew up, obviously, right? Because everybody was going to jump on Netflix except Radar and his family to watch it.
When we'll the next thing you want to talk about, the top 10.
Yeah.
I can actually fill you in on some of that bullshit because I got out fucking voted.
Well,
okay. And like all of the kids have like their own things to like. They have like their own like PlayStations or Xboxes, or like we have fucking all this. Everyone's got a TV of their own, right?
Right.
And I've got like my big ass TV in the living room. Okay. And it seems like everyone's like, I got a little bit of time. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna kick my feet up. I'm gonna watch something, right? Which is cool. I don't get a lot of time to do that. I got other shit going on, and it's summertime, dude. I'm always so busy in the summertime, and I like being busy, right? But it's like I got a little bit of time here. And then it's like, nope, we're gonna watch something different. And when we get to the list, I'll fill you in.
All right. So with that in mind, great segue. So, you know, it got me to thinking, they said, you know, Space Force is now #1 show on Netflix right now. Everybody's watching it. So what's the top 10, right? Because you always see that little banner that says like top 10 show. So as of today, what are the top 10 on Netflix right now? So we got #1, Space Force. #2, Jeffrey Epstein, Filthy Rich. #3, Sweet Magnolias. #4, Uncut Gems, which is that Adam Sandler movie that is fantastic. 5 is Avatar: The Last Airbender, the 3 seasons from the past. #6, Dead to Me. #7, Riverdale. #8, Just Go With It, which is an Adam Sandler movie from like years ago. I don't know how that got into like #8 of. It hasn't been on anyway. Whatever. #9 is History 101, and #10, The Flash, the CW show The Flash. So there's your top 10. So what has the Radar family been watching?
The fucking Avatar, the Airbender one.
It's a great cartoon. It's an absolutely great cartoon.
I've never seen it before because my oldest kid, who's actually leaves for boot camp, like leaves for basic on Sunday. Congrats. But anyway, he watched it before, and I thought it was dumb then. and now, but because we have like 3 teenage girls, right?
Mm-hmm.
They started watching it, Okay, which is whatever. I didn't know that this is a thing to them. And then like the little boys started watching it, which is cool too. But they're like at different spots, right? So like one of them will go like the three girls will go start watching it in the living room. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So I'll go do whatever. I come back and the TV's like open again. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna sit down and watch some TVs. And then it's like, then the boys come in like, we want to watch Avatar. I'm like, Jesus Christ, really? It's the well, and I thought it was the movie because there's a movie out already.
Right.
And
In
I
live
haven't.
action.
Yeah. Oh my god, no, we got to watch the cartoon again. And I'm like, this was like the third and fourth time I've seen this stupid cartoon, and I'm just like, oh my god, I just want to watch Space Force or something different. But but you know what? It's I don't know. Like I said, we try to stay busy enough anyway, so I don't really kind of want to waste a whole day when it's nice. If we get a day where it kind of rains and is shitty, then I'll probably I'll probably just kick them off it and be like, you guys go like fuck off. I'm gonna watch Space Force for a minute. But here's the other thing too. Like I'm kind of glad. Like if it's like mediocre, if it's like meh, you know what I mean? If it's probably something I'm not gonna hate, but I'm not gonna fucking fall in love with it, then I'd feel bad kicking him off it. You know? I'll just go to the basement. Then I'd feel all bad for kicking him off. It's like, oh, this is kind of fucking shitty anyway.
Well, I go. Sorry about that. No, I was gonna say, yeah, worth a look. Worth a look. It's definitely not bad. It's not bad. I can't see anyone saying this is by far my favorite show of all time. Like I just can't see it right now. Right now, as it is. I feel like they've got plenty of room to grow and get better and do more exciting things. And again, like everything else, leave on a huge cliffhanger. But yeah, so.
I think they did that though, so they have to get picked up for a second season and third and fourth and whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. It's true. Yeah.
And I also kind of like, I think that really kind of came from The Walking Dead is the first series that I really watched that was huge on these cliffhangers that are like, you know, basically you have to end every season, or now they're doing the mid-season stops too or whatever. And it's like,
yeah,
you have to have these.
Well, I mean, come on. Cliffhangers go way, way past that. I mean, think of like Friends, you know, Friends was a huge show and they would end on massive, you know, like, oh my God, they hooked up and then cut to, you know, see you next season, you know, like.
You want to know a juicy radar fact?
Oh, yes.
I don't think I've ever in my life sat down and watched an episode of Friends from beginning to end.
You're killing me, man. You're killing me. You're hurting me.
I'm sorry about it, dude. It's fucking Friends, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, I always had chicks that, like, girlfriends or fucking whatever that watch. Like, hey, you gotta sit down and watch Friends. But now I'm good.
Oh man, you're killing me.
And I was like, I don't know, fucking. Dude, sorry about it. I've never sat down and watched a whole episode of Friends from beginning to end. Haven't done it.
Here's I'm gonna mute you now, so I'm gonna hang up on you here. I think we're actually getting a call. Hang on a second. Let's see if we get a call. Hello, who's this?
Hi. My name is Trevor Knock. I like to suck a big black cock. How are you?
Great. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Good times. Good times. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
What?
That was That was
Who was that?
I don't know. Somebody.
Is he still there?
No, I hung up on him.
Oh, why would you do that? They called on the show.
Yeah, you know. Have fun with it. Anyway, so the latest on oh hey, what's going on? Wow, we got a bunch of people, man. Hey, Tim Morgan, what's up, buddy? Chad, thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming out and checking us out, man. We're having some fun tonight. What was that?
What, was that my kid that called in?
It could have been.
Probably. It's for boot camp, so I'm gonna call and fuck with my dad one more time.
There you go. I mean, he sounded a little young to be headed to boot camp, but maybe. Well, no.
I don't know.
So, what else we got? We talked about this a couple episodes ago about how Rob Gronkowski had signed with WWE and like really wanted to make a thing of a go at it of wrestling. And, you know, we said, oh, well, obviously they'll use him in different stuff. And that kind of got put on the side because the whole coronavirus thing, and they canceled wrestling, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff. So he didn't really get utilized. But then we found out a couple weeks ago, he decided to go back into the NFL. And the Pats took him and then traded him to Buccaneers, obviously because he wants to be with his butt buddy Tom Brady. Like he was like, well, wasn't he signed with WWE? Like is he still gonna do that? So this is the latest. So Rob Gronkowski during his tenure, and he was. You're right. Stefan won. He was the announcer for WrestleMania in Orlando. That's right. So that was like one of the one times he was utilized. Then after that, he was doing some development work. So it turns out he and forgive me because I haven't caught up with wrestling lately, but found out that he won what's called the WWE 24/7 Championship, which is basically like it's a belt that like the whole idea is that you have to defend it at all times. Someone could drive up to your house, pin you, and they're the new 24/7 champion. Like it's the old, what was it, the old hardcore belt or something like that is it's always going. So he won the title and broke the record as the longest reigning title holder for that belt. He held it for 68 days, and now it was kind of cheating because for like 40 of those days there was no wrestling because of the whole coronavirus stuff. So it's kind of cheating. But anyway, since announcing he was going to go back to football, people kind of assumed he was going to lose the belt some way. So basically on last night's Raw, a video package was shown where he was at like his house doing a TikTok video, and out of nowhere, R-Truth comes out dressed as like a gardener and tackles him and pins him and wins the belt. And now Gronkowski has been officially released by the WWE so that he can go back to playing football. Now, I guess because he did sign a contract with World Wrestling Entertainment, and the idea is that when he signed that contract, it was for X amount of years, there was a clause in the contract that said he could activate the clause and go back and play football without any penalties or whatever. The only stipulation is he can't wrestle for anyone else. So he can't get injured playing football and then go wrestle for another company or something. I don't know. I don't know the specifics.
Who else would you wrestle for?
I don't know. Well, AEW is like the big thing now on the block. Like TNT is pushing the AEW franchise, which a lot of like old timer wrestlers. So you got like the Hardy Boys and Chris Jericho and John Moxley and all these guys who were sick and tired of working for WWE, that they're jumping ship and going to this new AEW, All Elite Wrestling. I haven't kept up with it. I'll be honest. I haven't kept up with it. Too many things going on. But it looks good. I have seen some stuff. We got Lori. What's up? Lori's she says she's listening from Easton, Connecticut. So happy to be here. Good stuff. Can't wait to hear Adam Keys. Yeah, Adam Keys coming on the show later today. Hang in there, Lori. He's coming in about 30 minutes or so. We'll have him on the show. I can't wait for that. I really can't wait for that. He's such a fun guy to talk to. We've had many conversations, and I enjoy every single one of them. But yeah, so Rob Gronkowski out of WWE and back to football. So yeah, we'll see how that goes for him. I mean,
we all kind of saw this one coming. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And good for him though too. Like I don't know. I love Gronk. I really do.
You can't hate him. You really can't. He's like the big brother you never had.
So we got to go back to because there wasn't shit for tight ends this year. So we got to have somebody to shoot for in the tight end. I mean, he's probably he's I hate saying this because he's younger than I am, but he's old to play football.
I mean, at that position, yeah. It's going to be a lot of short curl routes. It's going to be a lot of two-step and turn around, and that's it. But
you got to do it this way, though, too. He's going down there, and, he is with his butt buddy. He is with one of his – they're buddies off the field as well. But, I mean, like, he's already part of that system. He already they know how to play with each other. He may end up getting a lot of yards. He may actually be one of the premier top tight ends in the NFL if they even get a chance to play. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. I'm very interested to see how it shakes loose. Stefan 1 says XFL is auctioning off all of its assets. Yeah, that's the big thing, man. Like, I feel bad because they tried to make it work the first time, bankrupted. try to make it, waited 10 years or whatever it was, try to make it work this time. And they were like, this time we're going to do it right. And I really feel like they had good product. I watched a couple games. They had good product for the XFL this time. And it was the coronavirus that killed them, because they were almost like living paycheck to paycheck. Like that's what they were doing. They were living paycheck to paycheck. So without really having a game to people to go and watch, that's it. They mortgaged the house on that first season, and who could have predicted the coronavirus? And so the
Chinese could have.
They could have stopped it.
Like, but yeah. You're right. I feel bad for them, dude. Like, they tried, and you know what? For the little bit that I saw, it actually wasn't horrible.
It wasn't. I actually enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it, and I thought that it had a promise. And maybe next time. Apparently, the rumor is now that he's like, they filed for bankruptcy, they're liquidating everything, but that Vince McMahon himself is rebuying up all the assets in bankruptcy. Like he's buying up all his stuff as it's getting liquidated. So they might try again. I don't know. I kind
of hope they do. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't really want to see everyone kind of feeling. And there's been a lot of failures coming out of the coronavirus. I mean, the Holocaust put the damper on a lot of shit, and I legitimately feel bad. But I think it's good. And same with like basketball. I kind of wish there was like another basketball league. Like, I think the NBA's kind of gotten, I can't watch NBA anymore. I love basketball. I love the sport of basketball. I don't love playing it. I'm short and white, dude. I ain't gonna bullshit. I'm not good. I'm not good at it. But I like the sport of basketball.
Yeah.
But I can't watch the NBA anymore. It's just there's no rules. There's like traveling. What the fuck's a travel? Have you seen anybody in the NBA get called for traveling in the last fucking 6 years? No, not a one. If it was, it's a fucking joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. I just watch it anymore.
Stefan, I want to say Stefan or Stefan, man. I feel bad. I'm sorry. I'm doing the best I can here. I don't know you personally. But you were saying, it's a great thing. I did read about this. So Hertz, the car company, the car rental company, is filing for bankruptcy. They're liquidating all their cars. I saw an article about this where they have like 6 of these like limited edition, like super souped up Corvettes, like top of the line, and they're in the company colors, like yellow and black. Looks like a little bumblebee. But these things are like resale. They're like $100,000 or $90,000 cars, and they're selling them for like high 40s, low 50s. And I even told my wife, I was like, oh, let me get one. I was like, I don't care the color. I mean, like, how often are you gonna drive around a $100,000 car? Right. And like they only had like 30 something thousand miles or something like that. I put more than that on my beater, and like, like for that is nice. I was like, man, I would do that. I would do that. But yeah, they're gonna be flooding the market apparently with cars. So cars are gonna be super cheap in a couple months, as he's predicting.
Anyway, fucking used cars are just going crazy.
Yeah,
they've been going crazy since the Holocaust began. And this is okay. So on top of the Holocaust, right? I live like 3-4 hours from the oil fields in North Dakota, and everyone knows what happened to the oil prices lately. They've seen gas, right? And then the coal mines in Gillette, which are like in Wyoming, the Wyoming coal mines are like an hour from me. So like in this particular area, if you want something in like a used motorcycle, especially a toy, especially like a
plaything,
boat, camper, all of that stuff, they're like giving it away, dude. People are like, and like when you look on like Facebook Marketplace or whatever, like the second picture of like there's like a picture of like a Harley, right? And then like the second one would be like their payoff, their bank payoff. I've seen a couple of them like that. They're like, I just need to get rid of the thing, so don't repo it. It's, I mean, so for someone who's like, I don't know, still doing all right, I'm like, maybe I should
get a little toy, a little something for somebody.
So, but yeah, the used car market is just, I mean, especially around here, but I know a lot of places in the country. And this was before even Hertz, and I think Enterprise, they're all kind of right on it.
Yeah.
None of them are doing great right now. And it's just like,
I mean, nobody going anywhere. I mean, thank God, like, insurance companies are returning money and stuff because of the fact that, nobody's driving. So they're doing the right thing by saying, here's your insurance premiums back. Hey, look, hey, we got Mike Larson in the house. Hey, what's up, buddy? All right, so here, some more TV news. Bip. There it is. There it is. That's the one. So for those that know, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is a long-running live action. I say live action. It's a live show, and it's not live. What do you call it? What do you call a show?
It's just a show.
It's just a show. It's a show. It's a
Remember
comedy
how
show.
they used to be just like fucking shows, like sitcoms, or just
It even says it. Look, it says it right there. Live action comedy series. See, I don't feel bad saying it now. But it has it's made headlines. It is a sitcom. Thank you, Stefan. It's a sitcom. But it's made a record. It's broken a record as the longest running live action comedy series in TV history, as it's got picked up for season 15. The previous record holder was, and I bet you $1. Nobody in the chat knows this one. The previous record holder is The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, which ended its run in 1966. Did they have TVs back then?
well, not very many of them.
How did a show last more than 15 years back when like there were 2 channels?
That was it. They were like,
it was the one show that was on, just constantly looping. That's horrible.
Nielsen ratings and shit. They were just like, the boss thought it was funny, so they just kept making it.
That's ageist. I'm being ageist right now. But yeah, so
I think I know why they put that longest running live action comedy
right,
series.
because of The Simpsons, right?
Simpsons, yep.
Yeah.
Because I fucking hate that term, that live action. Fucking Disney and fucking go bankrupt already. Fuck you guys. Anyway, yeah.
Dude, that's like 90% of what this show is. Don't go bankrupt. I won't have a show. I'll have a 15-minute conversation where I just say hi to the audience and leave. But yeah, no. So congratulations to these guys. I mean, obviously, the show's very funny. I mean, it revitalized Danny DeVito's career and has made a career out of what's his nuts. But it's
surprising again.
What was that?
You want me to say something surprising again?
Okay, yes, please.
No, I've actually seen this show. I was just fucking. I used to watch it a lot. I haven't watched it in a minute.
Yeah.
But actually, I do like Always Sunny.
Yeah,
but
it's a funny show.
Friends.
It's a funny show.
Fuck a bunch of friends. I don't even have my own friends. Why would I want to watch someone else's friends?
You wouldn't
on TV?
enjoy Friends. You don't have friends. You wouldn't enjoy Friends. It's for people with friends. Charlie Cox. It's not Charlie Cox. You're thinking Charlie Cox is the guy that played Daredevil. You're wrong guy. Wrong guy.
Yeah. All that.
I almost said Charlie Cox, and I'm like, no, I think that's the guy that played Daredevil. But anyway, that's okay. Neither here nor there. I have something else we can talk about. Where are you at? Aha! Speaking of Marvel and movies, here we have, for those that are in touch with what's going on in the movies, we have 2 people playing the same character, right? So on your left side, if I'm looking at the screen correctly, you have Aaron Taylor Johnson, who played Quicksilver in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He was in Avengers: Age of Ultron. He played the brother of Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver. On the right side, you have what's his name? Evan Peters, who played Quicksilver in the X-Men revamped movies, where they went back in the past and First Class and fixed it and changed it and went back to the 80s and 90s, whatever. He played Quicksilver in those movies. So that was happening, obviously, because of the contractual dispute of who owned what reality. So since like Avengers owned the Avengers characters, and Quicksilver at one point was an Avenger, so that technically means they could use him. But then Fox owned the X-Men characters, and Quicksilver was an X-Men, so that's why they could use him. So it was this whole big thing. And kind of that's the reason why Marvel kind of killed him off, is to alleviate the confusion. Anyway, reason I bring all this up is obviously we have this guy right here, was in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The other guy wasn't. Well, we're talking specifically about Evan Peters here. that is the X-Men version of Quicksilver. It was just recently reported that Evan Peters will be appearing in the upcoming Disney Plus series WandaVision. Now, that would immediately make most people leap to the conclusion that are they going to bring the X-Men version of Quicksilver into the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Now, while that is absolutely a possibility, especially since Disney now owns Fox and they could do that if they felt like it, I don't think that's what they're going to do. I'm betting dollars to donuts. It's just kind of like a pump fake, like, he was kind of Quicksilver, but I think they're going to use him to play somebody else. They haven't announced who he's going to be. The report are coming out that he's playing mystery role. The official synopsis for the series suggests that everything is not as it seems. So maybe is her brother. Maybe he's not her. I don't know. We haven't yet got confirmation either way. I don't believe. I mean, because here's the thing: if they do that, it'd be groundbreaking to be able to pull a character from a different universe, basically, into this universe. This is the show that could do it, right? Because her powers are reality based, so it could be very much within the realm that she loses her grip on reality and starts piecing together pieces from other reality. It's very possible, in a comic booky kind of way. But the idea is that I just okay, maybe he's playing a small and so the thing said it even that he's not playing a big part. He's going to be playing a small part of the show. So I feel like if they were going to make it where like, hey, we're folding the X-Men reality into our own, I feel like that'd be a much bigger role to play versus a brief appearance is what they're calling it. It's not gonna it's going to be it's not a major supporting role. He will appear in the series briefly. So yeah, it can be tough. And yeah, I see you typing. It's confusing. It's a little bit confusing. Just a
fucking little bit. Just a little bit.
Just really. Un poquito. It's un poquito confusing. But yeah, the whole idea is that, he's a great actor. He's done a ton of stuff. Very, broke the mold for American Horror Stories, where he kind of really got his start. And then obviously playing Quicksilver in the X-Men movies. I think he's gonna be playing somebody else. I think it's just a nice nod to what could have been, but I don't think. I'll be shocked. Let's put it that way. I'll be shocked if they go ahead and say that he's Quicksilver from a different timeline, different universe, and she somehow brought him to life. I don't know, somehow. But I mean, if any show were to do it, this would be the show to do it. This is the one that, like, reality means nothing in this show. It's gonna be complete chaos. So yeah, maybe, very well maybe, but I don't know. I don't think so. What else we got?
They're gonna fuck it up, dude. They're going to. You know they are.
No.
Say it. You know they're going.
No, they're not.
I'm not trying to be a dick about it, but you know they're gonna fuck it up.
I'm not trying to be a dick about it, but I'm being a dick about it. No, I really believe they're nailing it, and the reason why is there's a singular vision that everyone's kind of following, right? Or, it's think railroads. They're all going their own different ways, but there's a controlled chaos. There's a map, a guiding map that kind of lays it all out. I think that having that singular vision, but also that they're planning it out so far in advance. They've already talked about like that they have a 10-year roadmap laid out ahead. So I really don't see where they can screw it up. The problem with why DC
you don't see where they could screw it up.
I mean, okay, obviously but look, we've had let's be honest, we've had bad Marvel products come out in the MCU, specifically in the MCU. Thor 2 was not good. Iron Man 2 was sloppy. Iron Man 3 was kind of pan. Like there's definitely cases where there weren't great movies.
there's been some hiccups.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. But I think it would take a series of flops for them to really like blow it. So we're talking back to back to back flops. And with the fact that a lot of the stuff's coming out is going to be Disney Plus stuff, I feel like that gives them, I guess you could say that's more possibility to screw it up, but at the same time, I think almost less pressure because with a Disney series, you really get to flesh out a story. You really look at The Mandalorian. Why is The Mandalorian doing so well when the Star Wars movies are doing so shitty? You know what I mean? It's the same universe. Yeah, there's no Jedi in it and there's no Sith in it. It's a sub character, but the idea is that it's the same universe. It's just you're giving the characters time to breathe. You're giving them a really great narrative, a story arc to follow. Whereas the movie is like here's 30 characters and how they're interacting in 90 minutes, with an epic 3-part, start, middle, and end. Like, it's so hard to do when you're telling this epic storyline. So I feel like Marvel is because they're planning out everything. DC failed because they were just rushing. They're rushing. They're like, okay, these two characters me, okay, and then they're gonna have the team up movie, and then we'll introduce them singular, and then we're gonna do. And they were just buckshot everywhere. They released a Suicide Squad movie before they released a Flash movie. A Flash movie should be the obvious choice. I don't know. There's so much potential that they've kind of squandered. And now I didn't even write this down, but the latest news is that Henry Cavill is back on for Superman. Like, he's signed up for more appearances, none of them to be sequels. Here's the crazy things. He's doing like they compared it to like what Mark Ruffalo was doing with the Hulk, where he's just appearing in other people's movies but not having any movies of his own. And so like he's like, that's going to be his new thing, is like he's the Hulk of the DC universe. But like, look, there's not going to be a Flash. That's done. We don't know what Aquaman's doing. This whole Justice League redo, and it's a mess. I don't get it. There's no plan. That's the point. There is no plan. No one knows what's going on. So how can you invest your heart and soul into this stuff when you have no idea what's happening, and they don't know, and they're not telling us anything? So I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm getting at, dude. Like, to say, well, they can't fuck it up. They can fuck it up.
Yeah, you're right. Yes, they obviously could.
I hope they don't. I really do. I sincerely hope. And all of these things we talk about, right? I sincerely hope that they don't fuck it up. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to, like we talked from the beginning of the Kung Flu. Like, they have a lot of chances right now to really get some shit right and to really revolutionize not just film but all of these mediums, right?
Yeah.
Whether it be, they could really have a lot of opportunities here, right?
Absolutely.
So I don't want to see a bunch of dog shit thrown at us, but this is the new stuff, just like it. You know what I mean? Like, fuck you guys. Make it good. And I think they have a really good chance of doing that. So I sincerely hope they don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
But they can.
Yeah. Oh, it's possible. Hey, we got Peter is watching with us, and Stephanie. Hey, welcome back. And Pete says hi. Hey, what's up, Pete? Stephanie says DC needs to add Tom Cruise. That'll save the franchise. Oh. And throw some Tom Cruise at it. Yeah. I mean, shit. Why not? He's too busy going to space. Did you see this thing? Like, NASA wants to send him to space now to shoot his movie. Like, that's
him up there. He's horrible. He's ridiculous.
What the hell? And how about that SpaceX launch, man? That was awesome. Good for those guys.
I gotta quit talking shit about Tom Cruise because your buddy's gonna like fucking come find me up my house.
Yeah, Stephanie will
crawl
find you.
in my basement, beat the shit out of me like on the fucking air, be like, "Fuck you and your Tom Cruise bullshit." I'm like, sorry about it.
She's a Marine and she's got a certain set of skills.
I'm Marine too. What's up? I'm not even gonna try, dude. She'll probably just whoop my ass.
But yeah, no. Tom Cruise. Mike says Tom Cruise for Penguin. He's got the height for it. There you go. I'm gonna take a dig. Kick a man while he's down. Why don't you? Jesus.
He would be good in that role, though. Seriously, he would. You're discounting him. I think he'd be a good Penguin.
I would see. You know what? The funny thing is, I would like to see Tom Cruise do something like but go. Think of like Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder. We talked about this the other week. I want to see him play like Kite Man. You know, like somebody it's just the dumbest possible thing. Or there was another guy. What was he called? Like it was like Polka Dot or something like that, and he threw these dots out at people. Something like that. I want to see Tom Cruise take just the shittiest C character and play him. I think he would crush it. Semper Cruz. That's funny.
Yes.
Yeah, the Marines are lining in thought that he'd play a good penguin.
You know, I think he'd be a good penguin. I don't know. I think he'd be a Iron Man.
But funny about the SpaceX thing though. I was gonna mention. I was reading an article that the SpaceX suits were designed by guys who literally worked in comic books, like guys who drew for I'm sorry, not comic books. That they designed the suits, the comic book suits, accurate suits for the movies. So like Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, like the people that designed the suits for the actors to wear are the people that designed the SpaceX suits for the astronauts. So I thought that was pretty cool.
You're serious? Like, they're relying on Hollywood. Yeah. That is cool. I'm actually not mad about it. I'm thinking it's kind of cool.
If you're gonna hire anyone to design, a super suit, basically, right? Why not the guys that design super suits? You know, obviously, I'm sure they had smart science people make sure that the suits are good, but I guess the look, the design of the look. I'm sure not the technical specifications and what the suit does, because those guys would die if they were spandex, super suits to space.
They're like, don't got any fucking like seals in them and shit.
Yeah.
They hook up an air compressor instead of like.
Yeah, the suit just fills with air. It's a big ball. Good job. Yeah, and Mike had a good point. No nipples on the suits. So it wasn't the guy that designed George Clooney's Batman suit, because there were no nipples. So I actually read a thing where the director, who was the director? It was oh crap, it's escaping me now. But the director of the movie apologized, and he's like, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, that was the worst idea to give Batman nipples on the outside of his suit. Like, the dumbest thing. Like, what's next? You're gonna see like a ball sack on the front. Like, he's got the outline for his nuts in the suit.
I want to see. I don't want to see Batman's nits.
The bat nips. You don't want to see the bat nips. Okay. The
bat nits.
Yeah.
But I think it would be fucking funny if he's running around with like a big satchel, slapping the inside of his fucking knees. Oh yes, that could be part of his bat belt, and like fucking like his little thingies he throws can come out of his nits. Oh God, this is a yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yep.
Hey, we got the radio page going nuts with the comments. Danny DeVito is 4'10" and Tom Cruise is 5'7". Well, yeah, I guess. Hey,
that's right.
So
Rose are red. My name is Groot. Where is my super suit? That's fucking right.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. So we're gonna go to break, and let's do one more story. We'll go to break, and then during break we're gonna get Adam going, and then we'll come back and have the interview. So super quick. One more story. Let's talk. I got a video game thing we can talk about. Video games. So kind of a bummer. Now obviously we're not going to touch on what's going on with the country right now. Like, the whole reason I do this show is so that we can have some good news and stay positive and have some fun stuff. But for a moment, let's take a second and realize, there's some shit going on. Okay, it's getting real nasty out there, and people are fighting for their rights, and they need to do that. And one of the outcomes is a lot of corporations are getting behind it, and out of respect saying, we're not going to do this, or we're going to do this, or this is how we're going to support, and this is how we're not going to interfere with that message. So one of the things was tomorrow. We've been waiting for this for a long time. We've said this before. PlayStation still hasn't given us what does the new PlayStation look like. They've showed us the controller. They've talked about the specs. They've talked about the games. They still haven't actually showed us what the system looks like. tomorrow was supposed to be the big PlayStation reveal. They were going to show the whole world exactly what it was. And Sony came out with a statement yesterday saying that they're going to delay obviously because of what's going on. They're going to delay the whole event. You know, with everything that's going on right now, they expressed in a statement, the company explained that while it was excited for fans to get their first looks at the upcoming PlayStation 5, the company felt that the event would be ill-timed given recent circumstances. While no direct reference was made to the ongoing protests and demonstrations that have dominated the news cycle in the United States, it's so hard not to read between the lines, especially with Sony's statement that it wants more important voices need to be heard. It's clearly a decision to support the Black Lives Matter movement that has been an important discourse over the past several days. I'm really curious to see if this is going to cause a ripple effect, because Sony wasn't the only one. There's actually supposed to be really big events scheduled for June as far as gaming to release a bunch of information. So I'm wondering to see if other companies are going to jump on board with that. We know for a fact that EA Motive, the company, is working on a new Star Wars game, and they were set to announce that new Star Wars game during the PS5 reveal. So we know that's going to get postponed. Also, today was supposed to be the day that they revealed the new Madden 21, right? So we all know what Madden looks like, but like this is when they were going to announce all the new features and modes and all the new bells and whistles that they want you to buy. That was supposed to be revealed today as well. That's been postponed. So I really feel like there's going to be more coming out of this as they let the nation focus on what's important, which it's the right move, I think, because especially game companies have all been about inclusivity, right? Especially in the last couple of years. You know, we're gamers. We all game together. It doesn't matter. They've even putting big strides into accessibility for people with disabilities to play. So for companies that are all about inclusivity, it's the right thing to say, let's not take the spotlight away from a group that's trying to fight for justice and fight for its freedom and fight for its, what it needs at the moment. They're going to give that the time and attention it needs. And we'll have more news. I think one of the companies said it, this stuff is still coming. It's going to, there'll be time later to talk about the news of games and stuff like that, but that there are more important matters at the moment that need to be addressed. So, we'll have more in the coming weeks, and we'll talk about that stuff when it comes. What say you, Radar?
You know what? This is what I'm going to say on this. Two things. One, I think that I really do. I'm not going to say I'm not for all the protests. I think they need to evaluate what they're doing, because if they would have waited like 6 months, they could have started looting and all got brand new PS5s. What's up? Just saying. No, that's being a dick move. But I think, I think that I understand.
Yeah.
I understand all of it. I really do. And part of me thinks that they're doing it for the right reasons, and part of me thinks that that they don't want to be overshadowed. You know what I mean? If everyone's worried about the riots and the rioting and the happenings, that they might kind of ignore all that stuff.
Yeah,
So
you're right. There's part of it, because behind every decision, it's a business. At the end of the day, let's be honest, they're trying to make money. Without money, they don't stay in business, and that's what they want to do. They want to protect their interest, and so you're right. They want to dominate the news cycle when they announce it. They should be trending when they announce their stuff. And at the same time, I do believe that there is a PR element to everything that every company ever says. So the PR aspect of it is we don't want to upset this group of people who may or may not be gamers and buy our products. So let's
that's such a bullshit statement, because anybody who is excited about either of the new consoles, whether it be the new Xbox or the new PlayStation, anyone who's excited about it is still going to fucking buy it. No one is gonna be like, well, they just during the protest, they just decided to take some of the flame away from Black Lives Matter. Ain't no one gonna fucking say that. Everybody who wants a new PS5 is gonna buy a PS5. They don't even gotta fucking bullshit that.
Yeah.
It might hold back a little bit, but I don't even think it'd be. I think on their end it'd be negligible. But I do think that, in a way, this needs attention, right? And it's getting the attention. They don't want to take away from that. But I also think that the news cycle isn't big enough for big things to happen right now. And it's whatever. I get it. I get both ends of it. But don't fucking bullshit. Be like, whoa, no one's gonna buy it if we take away their thunder. No, they're still gonna buy it.
That's true. All right. Well, hey guys, we're at the top of the hour. We're gonna take a 10-minute break. We're gonna get Adam on the line. We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about a bunch of fun stuff. This guy's awesome. He's got a great story, and I'm super excited to get into it. What I'm gonna do, if I've queued this up correctly, we're gonna go to break. But for the first 5 minutes of that break, you're gonna see comedy of Adam's. So watch his comedy as we get prepared to talk to him on the flip side. So guys, hang tight. We'll see you in a few minutes. Shots.
Please put your hands together for Adam Keyes, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me just address the elephant in the room right away so we can move past it. I know you're looking up here thinking, what the hell is going on with this guy, you know? Let me confirm your assumptions. Yes, I am in fact Canadian. It's true, I am. I think it's my eyes that give it away. So yes, I am a proud Canadian, but I also serve proudly in the United States Army. So I think that I'm living proof. That maybe you want all the immigrants to take your American jobs. Sorry, that's how I air quote now. It keeps going down. That's a problem too. No, that's how I air quote now. I used to do this, but it took so long to get to this side. It was just ineffective. So picture this. I was in the hospital, I was in a power wheelchair, I was all bandaged up and really high on a lot of drugs that the hospital feeds you. Well, my occupational therapist asked me, Adam, what's your one goal with your one good hand? Would you like to feed yourself or conduct personal hygiene? I stopped right there and I said, I need my one good hand to do one good thing. No, it's not that. I said, I need to effectively air quote, because one day, I'm going to become a stand-up comedian, and that's going to come in handy. Well, after 5 months, I think I got down pretty good. So here's a fun fact about me. Not once in the last 8 years, not once have I lost or have I been accused of losing a sock in the dryer. I'm proud about that. I think that's an accomplishment. I do. So to try and stay in shape, I do quite a bit of hand cycling. Usually on Fridays, a group of us from Walter Reed go to Walter Reed down to Georgetown and back. It's about 20 miles or so. And usually halfway through, we'll stop, drink some water, and stretch. I mean, that's it for me. That's all I need to do. But not so long ago, when we stopped, a group of young college-age girls came up to us, and the ringleader of that group, you know, there's always a ringleader. The ringleader of that group, she came in and she had one question and one question only. She was going to ask it, but there was no build-up to it, you know? There was no, hello, what's your name? Of course, I would have replied, my name's Adam. There was no, hey, Adam, what are you doing later tonight? Or, hey, Adam, I bet not everything's prosthetic now, is it? No. I got no love for these girls, no love at all. She came over, she came stomping on in like this. She leaned into me and said, oh my God, what a cool looking bike. How much did it cost? Well, I looked at my friends real quick and I looked up to that ring and I said, well, Tiffany. Now, she never did give her name, but you can spot a Tiffany a mile away. Well, I said, Well, Tiffany, for me, it costs an arm and 2 legs, but we gotta roll. We gotta roll out of here. I didn't want to stick around for question 2. First one was stupid. So a couple months ago, I went to see some friends of mine up in the great state of Maine, and they live close to a very small airport, which requires a very small airplane. I didn't know how small the airplane was until I got to the airport, but as soon as I saw it, I knew it was clearly way too small for me. But I said, screw it, you know, I gotta see my friends. So I started my ascent into this stupid little plane. It's only 4 steps from the tarmac. I'm on the 2nd step, I'm halfway. And a member of the ground crew calls up and says, "Sir, can I give you a hand?" "Yes, but specifically your left one, please." Well, I finished climbing into this stupid little thing. I get in, I sit down, and I look out and I see this young guy. And all I could think to myself was, man, he has no idea. But I could see in his face, he's already lost socks in the dryer. He doesn't even know it. He doesn't even know it. Guys, this has been a dream of mine for quite some time. It does make me feel good to hear you guys laugh at some of my jokes. But I was for sure, I was convinced in my mind that no matter how good I did tonight or practice for it, that my first comedy set would absolutely, just completely bomb. You know, like my last deployment. That's my time, guys. Thank you so much.
You're listening to the sounds of WTF Nation Radio.
You got me staring out the windows, 8 hours later, you're a no-show. clouds, looking up and fading out. Cirrus shapes I found blow me away. Van Allen right around, pushing through. Skin is brown. Nature has us trapped in fear, so I get lost in sound. I wonder if you'll ever know why I am the way I am. I've been thinking a lot about time and space surrounding. Is there anyone who is thinking like me? I've been thinking a lot about life and it's never ending. Is there anyone who is thinking like me? Constellation theme, mapping stars that are meant to be. Geminis are free of suicidal kings. This misty maze of me, so obvious yet never seen. Feeling though the fog will lift to find me lost at sea. I've been thinking a lot about time and space surrounding. Is there anyone who is thinking like me? I've been thinking a lot about life and it's never ending. Is there anyone who is thinking like me? Myself and I am so lost, it's beautiful, far away from life. But I want your visible feeling to be mine. Oh, I just don't get it. When will your heart beat with my mind? Oh, I've been thinking a lot. I've been thinking a lot about time and space surrounding. Is there anyone who is thinking like me? I've been thinking a lot about life and it's never ending. Is there anyone who is thinking like me?
Call the show now at 415-889-8367. The voice of U.S. Army WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is hour 2 of Pop Culture Warrior. I'm, of course, CQ, your Pop Culture Warrior. And with me today, oh boy, I'm excited. I'm so excited. And every one of you people should be excited. Pay attention. We have a very, very funny man. He is a veteran. He is a comedian. And he also just happens to be a triple amputee. We're going to get all into it. So guys, girls, everyone, please welcome, give it up for Adam Keys. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Hey, thanks, CQ. Good to see you, buddy.
Oh, well, I wish I could see you, but I can hear you, and that's what's important. How you doing, man? How you holding up in all this?
You know, I'm hanging in there. That's it's craziness on top of craziness right now, but I maintain just like everybody else, you know?
Yeah. Well, you know, during the break, everyone who was around got to see your first ever. That was your first time ever being on stage.
Yeah.
One of the most legendary comedy clubs in America, the DC Improv, and we're gonna dive all into that. First,
Awesome.
let's rewind the tape. Let's talk real quick, just so everybody can get to know you a little bit. Give me a quick bio. You know, where you're from, where'd you come from, and obviously you're a veteran, so a little bit about your service.
Sure. You ready?
Let's go.
Cool, man. So my name is Adam Keys, obviously. I was born and raised in Halifax or Bedford, Nova Scotia, up in Canada, obviously. And I moved down to the United States when I was 13 years old, back in 1998, down near Allentown, Pennsylvania, in Whitehall, Pennsylvania. And that's where I eventually joined the Army from. I was a senior in high school when 9/11 happened. So I'd always wanted to be in the service, you know, long story short. But after that day, I just sort of knew I was going to do it. And after all the red tape I had to go through, as you know, I was an immigrant. I'm an immigrant as well, so I have to go through all the red tape to get the right paperwork. And after 9/11, that was hard to do. But once it all came through, I ended up joining the Army. I wanted to be a paratrooper, but that didn't happen very quickly. You know, I went to all the branches in the beginning. I thought I really wanted to fly early on, and the Air Force and the Navy both said I was too tall. But I wonder if they'll take me now, you know? and the reason I say that is because obviously I did join the Army. I became a paratrooper. I deployed to Afghanistan in 2010 as part of the surge. And it was my first deployment, and only not even 2 years in the Army. And unfortunately, I did hit an IED and became a triple amputee. So my career was very short in the Army, even though I had 7 years in. 5 of those years I were recovering at Walter Reed from the IED overseas.
Yeah, I understand that, man.
Yes, you do. So give me a high 4 on that one, TQ.
High 4, buddy, up top.
There we go.
One amputee to another. You know, I get
That's
where
right.
you're coming from. That's the biggest piece of shit thing I could ever say, right there. I know Adam, so I can say that. All right. I'm disabled, so I can make fun of him. Yeah, so I got a bunch of questions for you, guys.
Sure.
In the chats, if you got any questions for Adam, please post them in the chat. We will get them all answered. I have a couple of write-in questions. So a couple of friends of ours who may or may not have known you were coming on the show sent me some questions. So the first one is
I'm
just
nervous.
you should be. The first one was just, how dare you? Like, that's the first question I got. It's just, how dare you? I don't know what they're referring to, so you've obviously upset someone.
I dare.
I think just, how dare you in general be so awesome? Like, that's with everything you've been through. Let me start out with this. So you obviously have been through something that is traumatic beyond traumatic, right? Like the highest levels, right? I mean, at this point, the only way it could be worse is if you're a quadruple amputee, right? Like and I think there's only, last I checked, there was like 4 or 5 living quadruple
There's
amputees.
5, yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep,
So
all buddies of mine.
yeah, I mean, and you all guys are incredible. I mean, absolutely incredible. And you know, coming from me, it's not blowing smoke. I mean, I spent 2 years in the hospital myself recovering from my injuries, and I got to know multiple amputees, guys with burns and all types of horrible injuries. And the one thing that I loved is that the majority of the time, guys can fight through it with humor. And some of the hardiest laughs I've ever had in my life were in the cafeteria of Walter Reed Hospital, where we're just sitting around and just bitching and whining about our injuries and all this and making fun of each other. And you know, my roommate had like a part of his head removed and like had to have, you know, a plate put in and staples, and we used to call him Zipper, because all the staples made it look like you could just unzip his head. And it's stuff like that. And we used to love just ripping into each other. I've told the story before where like I won't guess, but I'm assuming you maybe went through this, where you do go through the why me, right? Whether it be survivor's guilt, whether it be like, this is bullshit, the woe is me, the dark period, all that stuff. I think it comes part and parcel with this. But for me, when I was in the hospital, seeing guys who, quote unquote, you know, in my eyes were way worse than what I had to deal with. And then if like they had a sense of humor about it, they could laugh it off, they could, you know, not give up and not fall into it, then it's like I felt like, well, fuck, I don't have a leg to stand on, as it were, to be bitching and complaining when I have a leg to stand on. You know, so it's I want to understand, you know, what was your mentality going through what you went through, and just like what was it that drove you to keep going and to battle through this and to come out the other side?
You know, that's I get that question quite often, and sometimes I don't really know, and sometimes I know right away. But I would say, you know, first and foremost, you know, I am lucky in this situation, and I have a great family and support system around me, which is key in my opinion. But I also understand. I heard you say earlier, and this is a common thing to say, is survivor's guilt. You know, and I think I had that for a long time. And why I say had that is because now I think I have a survivor's understanding. You know, and why I say as a survivor is because, you know, I became a triple amputee. We sort of went through that part already. I'm a double above the knee amputee, and I lost my left hand below the elbow, and a whole lot of other, you know, skin problems and just a whole bunch of craziness, right? But that day, July 14th, 2010, so coming up on 10 years now, you know, I was in a truck of 5. I was the 5th guy. I was getting out on a where we're gonna go, we were gonna go through this village looking for an IED type thing, you know. So we're gonna dismount and get on the ground. Unfortunately, an IED did go off, and it claimed the other 4 guys in the truck, and I was the only one to survive that one. So, although I know I look a little rough around the edges, and you know, I understand that when people look at me, but you know, if you look a little deeper, you'll understand that I am, you know, the luckiest guy around. So, you know, I carry that with me everywhere I go, and you know, I was at guys at Walter Reed just like you were. I'm talking to a lot of guys. In 2010, 11, and 12, I mean, there was just a constant flow of people. So it's like you made friends, and in a lot of cases, you know, the average time to be at Walter Reed as an amputee with no other complications is about 2 to 2.5 years.
Yeah.
But I took double that because of all this internal stuff that just everything was ruined. So I was there just over 5 years. It was like 5 years and 13 days or something. So I met a lot of people, cracked a lot of jokes, and you know, it's although it was a terrible thing that happened to all of us that end up there, you know, I met some of the best friends I've ever known.
Absolutely, absolutely. We do got some people commenting on the page here. Coming in, Wallbreaker says, you know, mad respect and love to you. So, you know, you're getting the
thank
love
you
and respect out there. And then we got the Marines coming in hard with the so what's the VA disability rating for being Canadian? So how much of your rating is from being Canadian?
That's almost all of it, man.
That was a good one. That's a good one. Marines got jokes, man. Marines got jokes.
He probably wrote that down with a red crayon, I'm sure.
Yes. He wrote it on the screen in crayon. So man, you've done so much. It's almost overwhelming where to kind of dive into. So since we talk about you being a comedian, let's start there.
Sure.
You've done a lot since your time removed from service. You know, I mean, we got to talk mountains. We got to talk, you know, marathons. We got to talk all of it. But let's start with comedy. So what made you want to get into comedy in the first place?
You know, I think I've always wanted it, but I never went for it type thing. It was always just a thing that you think of, but you never act on. And once this happened to me, and you spend all that time, you know, my first inpatient stay was 15 months. It was 475 days to the day. 475 days, man. The first stay. So, of many stays. You know, I've had well over 100 surgeries. So, talk about pulling out your own hair and everything. And it's so mundane and so crazy, and you're still hooked up to things, and you're on medications and all that stuff. But every day, I seem to find something where I could make somebody laugh, whether it was a doctor or nurse, my mom or my family, or my friends that came to see me. Things were just happening, and I was meeting comics that would come through to, you know, boost our morale. Like, they'd go room to room to talk to all the troops that were injured for whatever reason they're at Walter Reed. And one of the first guys I met that was a touring and famous comedian was Jeff Ross, and you know, he was getting ready to do the Donald Trump roast, and he asked me, "You think got any jokes on top of your head?" type thing, and I said I would go to his hair right away, but he had all that stuff locked down already, and I said, one day I want to be a stand-up comedian, even though I might sit down and do it, and I got a little laugh out of him, and we cracked a few more jokes, and from that day forward, I was like, somehow, some way, I'm gonna get on, I'm gonna do it, and then fast forward to about 6 years later, I was accumulating all these jokes, and I was making light of things. I've gone to dinner and making people laugh at dinner and going to, different events, and things were just rolling off my tongue sometimes. And I saw a guy on social media, I think it was on Facebook, named Mike Garvey, a retired Marine guy, and I ended up meeting him at an event like 6 months after that video came out. And I said, "Dude, you're an amazing comedian. Like, how'd you go do it? What'd you do? How do I even get on a stage? What's the first step type thing?" And he said, "You got to get in touch with Armed Services Arts Partnership ASAP." And so I did that, went to comedy boot camp, and I've been somewhat rolling ever since, man. I got the bug, and I haven't shooken it off yet.
That's awesome. It's so true. I have actually met, funny enough, I met Jim Ross a few times, and Jeff Ross.
Jeff, yeah.
Jim. I'm thinking Jim Jeffries, Jeff Ross.
Yeah,
Jeff Ross I've met a few times, and has always been very nice, actually, for a guy that's the roast master general. He's actually a pretty nice guy, just a chill, quiet guy. So another one of the writing questions, which kind of ties into our last comment, how can you be a real hero when you're actually Canadian? So
because I know how to make poutine. It's awesome.
There you go. Great answer. All right, I'm just passing these questions along. This is.
Oh, I know it's going to be a lot of Canadian ones tonight. I got it. I'll start throwing the A's in here real quick.
Yeah, right. A boot. You want to tell us what it's about? What it's all about? So what else we got? So okay, so you did this comedy thing. You did the class. You got everything. What is I don't know, what motivates you? Like, where does your comedy come from? Right? For those that were watching during the break, we watched your clip. Where does your comedy come from? And obviously from your injury and things like that. But just, I don't know, what motivates you? What gets you to writing those jokes, and where does it kind of come from?
I'd say most comics, find some of the most crazy things funny, even though sometimes it's about them or about their situation or whatever. Like, people make fun of divorce, and people find humor in cancer and all these different things. And for me, it was a situation that I was thrown into that I didn't necessarily ask for, even though I went to a dangerous part of the world, But you sort of always think in those situations you're either going to live or you're going to die. You don't think you're going to fall in between, and that's sort of how I felt. So I started accumulating these jokes, and I'm like, they're funny to me, so there's got to be a way I can convey these to people on the outside, especially civilians, to laugh with me and not laugh at me type thing, So I knew these jokes were funny. I had no idea how to put them together, especially into a flowing set, until I went to comedy school, And I just thought the more people that are in my situation that could get out there and show that, I'm not afraid to go out in public. I'm not nervous. I understand why you're looking at me, but let's all get along. So I just said, let's just take this head on, and let me get on stage and tell my story my way, and that's through laughter. Like I said, laugh with me and not at me, and we're gonna be best friends.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know, so outside of just like the DC Improv, you've also performed Gotham, right?
Oh, baby, I did it twice. I loved it.
What a stage, right? Am I right or am I right? I mean, Gotham is an incredible place to perform. Any other real, what's your big moments in comedy? What have you your greatest memories coming out of doing it so far?
I've met some incredible people. I met some great comics that the average person would not know. They're not even on Netflix per se. But man, oh man, did I learn a lot. I got lucky to go back to my hometown of Pennsylvania, up to Whitehall, and I got to perform 2 nights with a guy named PJ Walsh, you well know, a touring comedian, and to go back to my hometown and go to a club that's still in the same Ramada hotel and perform at a place that I used to go there underage and drink and watch comics, when I was 19 and 20.
Right.
So to go back and do that was incredible. Up in New York, it's just the whole feel of going to New York, and I was blessed to go there twice, Wednesday and then the very following Wednesday. So 7 days apart, both at Gotham. And it gave me like the New York bug. And I had, until this whole coronavirus thing happened, I was really planning on going up there at least 4 days a week just to feel the scene and just to like go to every comic place or comedy club and see how I could get on an open mic, just to see how I could do it, and just do it not because you had assistance or you're doing it for for charity. All those are great things, but sometimes you want to see if you could do it on your own, and that was what I was setting out to do. And I've done a lot of things here in the local area, in the DMV area, where I got myself on stage, and I'm typically getting a good reception, but not every night's good, and not every joke is gonna hit. So
that's comedy, baby.
Yeah, you learn that along the way too. So it stings, man. It stings sometimes.
Yeah.
But you got to roll with it.
That's right. We got a guy in the Mixer, the later show, says the best thing about stand-up comedy is how authentic it is. I agree. What do you think?
I do agree, and hopefully he checks out my stuff and thinks I'm authentic. That's what I could hope for this guy.
Let me tell you something. If there's anyone that is more authentic than you, Mr. Keys, I have yet to meet him on this earth. There's so many ways you can take, and we'll, since you threw the name out there, Mike Garvey, he's a great guy.
Yes.
And his comedy comes from a place of almost like, I hate everything. I'm grumpy about everything, right? I'm an old man in a young man's body kind of a thing, right? But that's not you. That's not who you are, and that's not where your comedy comes from. You're obviously, for someone who's been in the position you've been in, it's much more uplifting. It's much more like, let's all laugh about this silly thing kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love it for people. You got to see more of his stuff too. There's other clips out there. The later show also says, does he go to Capital Laugh open mics? I'm not sure. Capital Laughs.
I will now because I'm writing that down.
Yeah. Get my people to talk to your people, and we'll set it up, man. We'll do a thing. We'll do a round.
Absolutely. I'm actually my comedy legs are in the shop right now, but I pick them up on Friday.
Fantastic. His comedy legs. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Let me ask you this, and this is a silly question, but do you have a look that you try to go for on stage, or is it just whatever you throw on, you throw on?
No, I don't really have a look. I only have about 3 pairs of shorts. I only wear shorts, and I have the short prosthetic legs. So obviously you see my legs. I put one of those 3 pairs of shorts on and some kind of Under Armour or whatever T-shirt, and I go on stage and take a deep breath and black out and come off 5 or 6 minutes later and ask how it went.
Watch the tape, right? That's awesome. So, okay. What about, do you have a long-term comedy goal? Like, how far do you want to take this? And now let me caveat that with, not too long ago, Kevin Hart was supposed to host, the Oscars, and had to drop out. And if I recall correctly, there was a petition going around to get you to host the Oscars.
Yeah, that was about that was a pretty awesome day, man. So after comedy school, to answer about this Kevin Hart and Oscars thing, is about 6 months after comedy school, about 6 months after that video you just showed, which was in August of 2018. So I think January of 2019, I started watching TMZ pretty often just to get material. And this was the top thing was Kevin Hart is out as the Oscar because of whatever tweet from back in the day or whatever. And he doesn't want to do it, and other comics don't want to do it because it pays too less, and they said it was like a $15,000 thing. And I said, you don't even have to pay me. I'll come and do it right now. You know what I mean? I'll do it for whatever you want to give me or nothing. I'll pay myself to get there. And that's just, I said that as a joke, but still, meaning it, right? But it took fire pretty quick, and people, thought I could pull this off. And I'm thankful that people do think about that about my comedy and think about me that way. So when they asked, can we help you? Can we do a petition, put a video together, all this kind of stuff, I said, let's go for it, man. I'm all in for all in. Like, let's just go where the wind blows us. And if an opportunity came out of nowhere, let's just go. And before you knew it, I was on like the local news stations, 2 or 3 of them. I couldn't even tell you how many newspapers. It went crazy. I was on the phone constantly for this one thing. So I was just thinking to myself, man, so these guys like Jeff Ross and all these big wigs. I mean, how in the world, Kevin Hart, how does he juggle what's going on in his life when I'm just dealing with a few phone calls right now, you know?
Right.
So to answer your first question, how far do I think this could go, or how far do I want it to go? I say I'm going to let it go as far as it will take me, and I will just go as far as it will, because like I said earlier, I'll go where the wind blows me. If it blows in the right direction, if the stars align, who knows what could happen. I don't need to be a world famous millionaire or anything like that, but if it could get me hosting anything or just telling comedy on tour that's paying the bills, would be a blessing, and I'd be all in for that.
That's awesome. I say let it take you all the way to the White House, and I'm gonna start right here. Adam Keys for president. I'm gonna start it here, and which can
Canadian.
I was gonna say you beat me, so I was gonna go. Can we have a Canadian president? Can we do that? Is that legal?
No, I could do everything else, but president, as far as I know.
Oh, damn. All right, vice president it is then. Adam Keys for vice president. Okay.
CQ for president.
Hey, I don't know.
I'd vote for you.
I don't want that gig. No thanks.
Neither would I.
I'll take radio
Neither
host.
would I.
One of the snarky comments I have from one of our listeners is, how do people take your comedy seriously if you don't have a service dog?
Oh,
yeah.
You know what? She's gonna hate my answer. She's absolutely gonna hate my answer. When I go out in public, even my friends tell me this. Usually, I am their service dog. You understand? I don't have my own service dog because I get stopped enough going through the airport on my own. But if you have a dog with you, it's game over. You're never gonna make your flight.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of friends that do have service dogs. And some that do comedy, and they do great with them. For me, I'm just going to make fun of myself, and I am my own service dog right now.
Right on. Which if you're ever in the market for a dog, man, I've got connections, man. We'll hook you up.
Thank you. Right on.
Too easy.
Appreciate that.
What was more terrifying? And this is going to seem like a stupid question for a lot of people, but the answer might surprise you. What was more terrifying? Combat. Going through your injuries and surgeries, or going through the comedy class and starting to perform comedy?
Comedy, 100%.
100%. God damn it! I know it. For those that don't understand how comedy can be more terrifying than combat, than training, than surgeries, than injuries. What say you, sir?
I say, when you're training for anything, you think you're ready for it. And this could have went different for anybody else too, but the combat thing and being overseas was like, you're with a team and you're working together and you're doing all these things. And even though comedy is a team sport, it's when it's time to get on stage, it's only you and it's only the mic. So it's all on you at that moment. And you want to do your best, right? You want people to laugh. That's why you're there. That's why they're there. So what I do right before I go on stage is just take a deep breath and channel my inner Bernie Mac and just say, I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. And then I just walk on as best I can and start cracking jokes and see where it goes.
Very nice. Very nice. Let me ask you this. How many people ask you if Born on the 4th of July is your favorite movie?
I get that. I definitely get that. Platoon a lot too, all those.
All the dumbest things, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you get how many people have you killed?
You know what I've learned about that? It doesn't matter if you say 0 or if you say 100. They've already pictured me shirtless, hanging out of a Black Hawk with the whole 9 yards over my shoulder, just mowing down the Viet Cong. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's a callback to my Vietnam brothers right there. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
Because no matter what I say right there, they've already had me framed. You know what I mean? They already know what they think they know.
Absolutely. Let me ask you this: your comedic take on it, or your not comedic take on it. The first time someone kind of cornered you and gave you the whole "thank you for your service," what goes through your head? How does that hit you?
Well, I've learned to deal with that better, but in the beginning, certainly I didn't know how to take that. Didn't understand it. I also didn't think that I was worthy of it. You know what I mean? So I didn't know. I don't know if people were offended in the beginning or not, but I just know that I wasn't saying what I really meant because I didn't felt like I would deserve that praise. But I've learned over time and talking to a lot of people, both from this generation and generations past, that we just talked about Vietnam for a quick second there. When they came home, it was a totally different situation. So I'd rather be cornered and said people say thank you or have too many thank yous than to have any or to be spit on. So
Yeah.
that's my take on that.
Right on, right on. We got Ruben in the comments saying, "What's up, buddy?" So, hey, Ruben, thanks for joining.
What's up, Ruben?
What else? What else can we ask you? If you could replace any actor in any movie, what would be your dream role?
Ooh. Well, right now it's got to be Maverick Top Gun. Yeah.
Ooh,
And that actually
Go ahead.
That's going to lead me to a quick question to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're into all this all this stuff, especially
Sure.
with the movies. What's up with Top Gun 2, man? What's going on?
It's delayed. It's delayed.
Because
Latest.
I should have already seen it.
Yeah.
I should have already seen it.
You're telling me, man. I was looking forward to Black Widow. The latest is, I think they said November or December, is when it's
Okay.
coming out. So this year at least is
Okay,
could be
that's
worse.
something.
Like Fast and Furious got pushed back to like next summer. It's crazy.
Ooh.
Yeah. Jesus. Stephanie says, "Jesus, if Adam isn't worth being thanked for, then I'm worth nothing." and she also says, "How dare you? You can't replace Tom Cruise." So you're gonna have to pick a different movie.
I'd definitely be James Franco in Pineapple Express. Not that good looking, but that's that much smoking. That's for sure.
That dude is ugly. I don't know what you're talking about. You got him beat.
Stephanie, she's got a sweet looking mug on her thing there too. That's awesome. Thanks, Steph.
There
For
you go.
Stephanie, sorry. Thanks, Stephanie.
Stephanie. I always call her Steph just to piss her off. Yeah, we had Stephanie on it was 2 weeks ago. So and
I was listening.
She hyped you up, man. She's a good gal. So okay. So for a moment, let's diverge from comedy. You've done so much more. And I get the feeling. Now, we haven't had this conversation before, but I'm going to jump out on a ledge here, and I'm going to say you're the kind of guy, very similar to how I kind of look at things, in that, like, we shouldn't be here. We're like on borrowed time. We're lucky to be here. And you kind of talked about it before, where you mentioned, see where the wind takes you. And my version of that is like, say yes to everything. Like, if it's an experience, say yes to it. Do it. It's an opportunity and all these things. So you've said yes. You've done it a lot, right? You've climbed mountains. You've been in marathons. Just done so much. I mean, give us a taste of some of the things that you have accomplished since your new chapter, since your new normal began.
It's always weird talking about yourself this way, I think, but of course I will. But it's always weird, right? Because it's like you don't think about yourself these ways. But I understand why people look at, especially these things I'll say just now, is like why they look at them the way they do, because it is different and it is, I guess unique to everyone's certain situation. But about I think it was 2017, I trained 6 months at the pool at Walter Reed to do a 1 mile open water swim down in the Virgin Islands, which was pretty awesome. Now they had paddle boards and boats there just in case something happens. But I'm happy to say I did that whole mile with one arm and made past the finish line, which was pretty awesome. And that sort of gave me some juices, right? So in 2015, my last year at Walter Reed as a patient, well, an active duty patient. I'm a patient there right now, actually, because I had surgery 5 months ago. So I'm still a patient there now for physical therapy. But in 2015, there was 2 people down from the Boston Marathon bombing, Patrick and Jess. And Patrick lost his leg in the Boston Marathon bombing, like I said. And he was going back to hand cycle for the first time. And we had become friends, and he knew I just started hand cycling about 2, maybe 3 months before that. And he's like, "Hey, man, will you come and cycle with me and 2 of our other buddies, BJ and Clark, 2 of my Marine buddies?" And I said, man, I don't even know if I'm even close to being ready to do that. That's obviously 26.2 miles, and I haven't trained at all. But he's like, you have 6 or 7 more weeks till that happens, or whatever it is. I said, you know what, Pat? You're my buddy. I'll roll with you. Let's just do it. So I cycled that marathon. That was my first one in 2015. Took 3 hours and almost 30 minutes. And, I mean, I was crushed, but I finished it, right? But it also gave me, like, more momentum. It's like I could do better. Right. And I was there with some new friends and some old friends, too, that were cycling and, doing this thing in, like, 1 hour or 2 hours or whatever. I said, if I could get somewhere around 2 hours, I'd be really happy. So fast forward through that. I've done 10 full marathons. A lot of these well-known ones like Boston Marathon I've done 3 times, Chicago, New York, LA twice, Detroit, which was awesome, Marine Corps Marathon, a bunch of halves as well. But the best I've done so far on time was 2 hours and about 10 minutes, if I believe right. And that was LA in 2018, because in 2017, I was doing that marathon, and my grandmother went to the hospital the night before, and I was very far. She was in Nova Scotia, and I was in LA, obviously. And but it wasn't something to be worried about at the moment. So my mom said, go ahead and do the marathon. But I kept getting phone calls during the whole thing, so I was stopping and checking in. So my time was terrible, right? But I got to the finish line past 3 hours, was able to call my grandma, even though she couldn't talk. I talked to her through the phone, and her monitors leveled out, so that means she could hear me. I know what that means.
Yeah.
So which was good, but my time was horrible. So I said, I finished Grandma for you. Unfortunately, she passed away about 10 minutes after that. But I said, I'm coming back next year to do better. So that was my best marathon I've done. So that's the marathons. That's the swimming. I guess you want to get to the mountain, maybe, huh?
Yeah, that's a big one. So, literally, figuratively, literally.
Yeah, that's 19,341 feet. I'll never forget it. A friend of mine who lives here in Annapolis, he's much older than I. He's from the Vietnam era. He was in Vietnam, and he came back and he hiked that mountain for his daughter who has CF, cystic fibrosis. Because the higher you get up like that is how somebody with CF feels every day trying to breathe. Because it's very hard to breathe at that altitude. They bring oxygen. I didn't need it, but it's there just in case you do. So when I saw his video, and I just got my new prosthetic legs, this was late 2017, early 2018. And I looked at him, his name's Bob, and I said, Bob, I feel like right now I could do that. And the ball started rolling. So it went from a discussion to a thought to a discussion to let's plan this out. So before I knew it, let's fast forward maybe 6 months later, I hired a personal trainer. I had committed to do this, and I was trying to find a climbing buddy, which I did. And then before I made it public to everybody, I was training for 7 days a week for about 4 months. And this was right before comedy boot camp. So I was real proud about myself about having this regimen to do, work out all day with the trainer, at night write jokes, and on the weekend go to comedy school. So it was a balance. It really put me in check because there was less time to go out and just hang out with friends. I mean, I love my friends, but I don't want to do it every day, right?
Right.
So, it sort of went from there. And then I made it public. I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fund myself, and I'm going to raise money for charity. Let's see how much we can get. So we started on December 26th, I believe, of 2018. And it took 5 days. I don't have the information right in front of me, but it's 5 days to reach the summit and 6 days to get off the mountain. Because you have to take your time getting up, because altitude, obviously, but coming down, you can come down as fast as you really can. So I'm happy to say we made it to the summit. It was one of the toughest things I've ever done. I couldn't have done it without my climbing buddy Tyler, and he's up from Maine, or he lives up in Maine, and then my whole team, Olarviv from Tanzania, and all his what's the proper word? Not Sherpa, but it'll come back to me. But the guys that bring the stuff up for you, because it's law there, so that's like their major tourism.
Right.
I'm only allowed to carry on me. It was something like 20 pounds. You know what I mean? So those guys had to bring up everything for me, or for us. You know what I mean? And they brought the tents and the food, which was incredible, and they cooked for us, and it was just unreal. But the reason I went to the top in the first place was because I heard there was a comedy guru, and I had to find out. So it was very important to reach the summit, and I'm happy to say that I was there. I won't tell you if the guru's there, because there's only one way to find out, and you have to climb it yourself.
Right. That's the trick. And I don't think we mentioned which mountain did you climb?
Oh, sorry, Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania.
Mount Kilimanjaro. That's
19,341 feet.
whew. Dude, I'm winded. You just telling me that story. I'm like out of breath and winded. So fuck you.
You can
for
do
that.
it, man. You can definitely do it. And if you ever wanted to, I could hook you up as well.
Yeah, we'll talk offline about that. My wife would crucify me before she'd let me try to attempt that. That's not gonna happen. Well,
Gotcha.
no. First, she'd ask me, "Is the life insurance up to date?" And then maybe let me go. Stephanie is in the chat, and she said, "A, how is there not a movie about your life yet? And B, who would play Adam Keyes?"
Oh, geez, are you asking me now? You asking me the question?
I mean, who would you like to see play yourself
Lord.
in a Hollywood movie?
I don't know if I want to fall down this little trap, but I don't know. It's funny when I've heard that before. Actually, it's really weird, but it's funny because it's like this book is or this movie's writing itself. I just happen to be the starring role. I don't know how this happened. It wasn't intentional, but here I am. All of a sudden, I'm doing radio with you guys. I'm doing podcasts over here. I'm doing a comedy show with a guy tomorrow, Josiah, that works at a different company now. And there's 3 or 4 comics doing comedy tomorrow night at 5:00 on Zoom. Like, this is wild. I'm embracing it. I don't know who could play me. I'm gonna leave that one out there, man, because I don't know.
All right. Well, we got plenty of people watching, guys. If you think you got the perfect guy to play Adam here, toss it in the chats. Stephanie says that she will happily write the screenplay for your film. So, and she's a phenomenal writer. So
yeah, she's a great writer.
I would take that up. Here, just so you know, take this as the highest compliment, because all the time I get the comment, your life could be a book. I've never gotten your life could be a movie. So you're like, books are old and boring. Movies are exciting. So you're well ahead of me, sir, because I never get the movie comments.
Well, that's just the younger folks like the movies. They don't like the books,
That's right. Wow. Mike Larson says Martin Short to play.
That's a good one.
He says it's the only Canadian I could think of. Wow.
Who's
Okay.
short?
Yeah, right. He's Martin Short. Awesome.
He's funny.
he's a very funny guy. I think he'd be phenomenal.
I'd go with John Candy if I was going with a Canadian.
John Candy. I don't feel like he fits the bill for your look. No offense.
I don't think he'll make casting though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't.
Maybe Mike Myers. Mike Myers, I'd go with. Oh, you know what? If we're gonna go Canadian route, I would 100% say
Mike
Jim
Myers.
Carrey, even
Oh,
though
Jim
he's
Carrey.
older than me.
Yeah, Jim
Yeah.
Carrey. I like that. I could see some prostheses and some de-aging. I could see that. I could see it.
I was tall and lanky like him. I was 6'2".
I feel like there's a joke there. I was 6'2", depending on...
I was formerly 6'2". When I have my comedy legs on now, I'm actually 4'11".
4'11". Okay.
Yeah. So I could limbo like whoa, dude.
Do they, let me ask you, so do they have, because I remember when people were going through, especially double leg amputees, because it's different if you have single leg, they're going to try to match the other leg, obviously. But I remember hearing that the double leg amputees would, they would ask basically what height you want to be. For the most part, they wanted you to be what you were, because I guess that's your brain is just used to that. So they wanted you to be back where you were. So for you, what's the reason not being 6'2"? Because you just too far to fall? I'm asking.
No, I just haven't done that in a while. I would have to get a new set of sockets, but I do have the X3 legs, and I have done that, but because I'm a double above the knee, right? So my left side, my left limb is a full femur, so it gives me a lot of power and a lot of strength, but my right side's only like the size of my hand. I think the last time I remember, this was a while back, but I think it was like 7 or 8 inches, the femur, right?
Right.
So there's less to hold on to, and I did it for a long while, and this one, it's hard to keep it on. So the more I sweat, especially in the summer, the right leg wants to come off or will come off. So in that case, I was always walking for the most part with a cane.
Right.
And that kind of sucked because it was taking away my free hand, my only hand. You know what I mean? So, but when I was using the shorties, they're called shorties, the ones that keep you close to the ground. That if you don't put the knee into your prosthetic, you'll be as close to the ground as you can. Right.
Right.
So that's what you start with as a double AK above the knee. You start that way just to get, your balance right, and then learn how to fall from lower height. And then when you go back up to 6'2", the highest I went was 6 foot. That was as tall. That was as short as I could be with the knees in. So even though I could go back to 6'2", I could go to 7'2" if I wanted. I'll never make it. A lot of people do go a little higher. Most of those people that I know anyway are double below the knee,
Right.
and they have some room to go. So yeah, in the beginning it was a big thing for me. A lot of my friends that are in similar situations were walking on their with their knees on and back to whatever height they were. Let's say 6 foot. And some, I was always proud of all these people, all my friends, but it was also like making me want to do it. And I was trying to make it work and trying to make it work. And at some point, I'm not saying I'll never walk with these again, but what I will say is that these short prosthetics, these shorties work so well for me.
Yeah.
Why would I get rid of them?
You gotta do what's right for you. I mean, it's not about what everybody else is doing or what's best for the look. It's what's best for you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's about longevity here too, because I do have some friends and it's a lot more weight hanging from your limb. You know what I mean? So it's harder on your skin. And if you don't have good skin, and definitely on my left side, it looks like I'm burnt, even though it's all skin grafts, right? But if you damage that skin, you're not going to be wearing the leg or the sockets for weeks or months maybe. So I'm like a 50-50 kind of guy. I have my legs on. I go do comedy. I'll walk around if I'm at a restaurant or whatever, at a gala, whatever. But when I'm at home, I just leave them off. But when I ride my four-wheeler, I put them on. So like I'm mostly in the wheelchair, but when I need my legs, I put them on. Right. They're easy to put on. So that's the way I've been rolling.
Right on. And we got, hey, what's up, Dave? Dave's in chat. He says, "What's up, guys? Hey, what's going on, Dave?" Radar says your life could be a ... comic book. I think that'd be great, man. Adam Keyes comic book. Let me just say, I thought of something while you were talking. I don't know how you haven't thought of it yet, or maybe you have and you dismissed it. But double AK. Your name is Adam Keyes, and you are a double AK. I mean, that's a double use of AK. I'm just saying there's something there, man. Play with that.
And I have an AK-47, so we're rolling triple style, baby.
You got your triple AK. But I'm just saying that'd be a phenomenal stage name, man. Welcome to the stage, double AK. Like, oh my God, that's just
that could work. I'm glad I came on the show. I never would have thought of that.
Well, that's it. We are rebranding you. That's it. We're changing it right now.
All right, that's the end of the show. Let's get out of here.
No, I mean, yeah. Use it, don't use it. I don't know. You said it, and it just popped into my head. I think it's adorable, and I think it could work.
I adorable.
So, okay, last question for you. You've obviously, I mean, you've done it all. I mean, or most of it, pretty much. I'm
working on it.
You live life more than most people will in their entire life. You've lived life more in the last couple of years than most people will live in their whole lives. What has been, I don't know, at this point in your life, what is more important to you? Is it the comedy? Is it doing the funny stuff? Is it being the role model? Is it being the mentor? Is it being the public speaker, the motivator? Where's your heart more at the moment?
That's a good question. I would say this. I think all the things you just mentioned can work together. So just because if I do still do public speaking, right, and I can still go motivate people, especially people in the hospital, right? I know how it is to be in there. So I think that could all go along with it's okay to tell jokes. And just because this is the way that I do things doesn't mean it's going to work for everybody, and doesn't mean you even have to like the way that I do it. You know what I mean? But I can tell you that this is the way that life steered my direction, and for whatever reason, it's really working. So if I had to pick, I would right now tonight I'd pick comedy, but I think I could pick all four or five, however many things you said.
All of it.
I do think I can, at least for now. You know what I mean? At least for now. I've had the help of many people along the way, so like they can't be overlooked, right? And I could say this, I could say this, and please tell your family and friends, to be honest with you, because it has been confirmed that of all this help that I've had, that all the King's horses and all the King's men and women have in fact put Humpty Dumpty back together again.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Such a Stephanie says such a Canadian answer. One last dig, guys. Let's everybody give it up for Adam Keyes. Adam Keyes, thank you so much for coming on the show, for talking with us. We could literally talk for another hour. I mean, I love talking to you. You've got such an amazing spirit, and just the way you tackle challenges in your life is an inspiration to all of us, myself included. I'm happy to call you a friend. I'm happy to watch what you're doing in comedy. Keep posting the videos. I love it. I eat it up. And yeah, guys, here's your moment. Plug whatever you have coming up. Plug your social medias. Let people know where they can follow you.
Sure. On Facebook, it's Adam Keyes, one step forward in quotation marks. And then on Instagram and Twitter is where I do most of my comedy stuff, is at @comedy_Keyes. I hope you guys check it all out. I'm doing comedy tomorrow. I'd say the next 2 weeks, if you follow those pages, you'll see a thing you could buy a ticket for. That's, I think it's $10 to watch on Friday night. It's coming. It's going to be good. I just can't talk about it yet. And then there's more things to come. I could say this, my first tour, I've been picked up to go on a tour. It's in November, if that holds with all this coronavirus thing. I hope it does, but stay tuned. Just stay tuned. Check me out.
Can you give us any clues who you're touring with, or what's the name or anything like that?
No, I'm not allowed to. I would love to, but I'm not allowed to.
All right, I'll tell you what. When you can, I want the exclusive. We're going to put it up on the Pop Culture webpage, or we'll a dual announcement. You can obviously put it on your page as well, but we
can do it. I'm down.
I want to promote the shit out of you, and we'll get WTF Nation Radio to support it and put it out there too. So please let us know. Keep us in the loop, guys. This has been Adam Keyes. We're going to go on a short break. We'll be right back with more Pop Culture Warrior. We'll see you in a few minutes. Shots.
You're listening to the sounds of WTF Nation Radio.
You got me staring out the window. 8 hours later, you're a no-show. Right here, right now. I'm better without you. You're always on my mind. But right here, right now. I'm better without you. Oh, I thought this was some time. But right now, I know that I'm better on my own.
Looking up and fading out, serious shapes I found blow me away. Van Allen right around, pushing through, skin is brown. Nature has us trapped in fear, so I get lost in sound. I wonder if you'll ever know why I am the way I am. I've been thinking a lot about time and space surrounding. Is there anyone who is thinking like me? I've been thinking a lot about life and it's never ending. Is there anyone who is thinking like me? Constellation theme, mapping stars they're meant to be. Geminis are free of suicidal kings. This misty maze of me, so obvious yet never seen. Feelings old, the fog will lift to find me lost at sea. I've been thinking a lot about time and space surrounding. Is there anyone who is thinking like me? I've been thinking a lot about life and it's never ending. Is there anyone who is thinking like me? Myself and I am so lost, it's beautiful, far away from life. But I want your visible feeling to be mine. Oh, I just don't get it. When will your heart beat with my mind? I've been thinking a lot. I've been thinking a lot about time and space surrounding. Is there anyone who is thinking like me? I've been thinking a lot about life and it's never ending. Is there anyone who is thinking like me?
Call the show now at 415-889-8367. The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
And we're back. Guys, how absolutely outstanding was that conversation with Adam Keys? The dude is ridiculously phenomenal and easily makes you feel like you haven't done shit with your life. All right, are you there, bud?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
What'd you think, buddy?
Dude, I fucking love it. You're fucking buddies, man. You guys are awesome. You guys are fucking. First off, you guys are all funny as shit. Like, do you have any friends who aren't funny? Seriously, like,
I'm the least funny person I know.
and you're the one who got the radio. That's why you're on the radio, right?
That's right. That's that. You know, those who can't do, teach, right?
Yeah.
Those who can't do good on radio, apparently. Yeah, no.
You guys are so fun, and you're right. That I was like, you guys, both of you guys, your life could be a fucking comic book, man. Like, seriously. But it's like, and like, I listen, okay, because like I got hurt, right? I got kind of blowed up, not near as bad, obviously, as you guys did. Like, I went to fucking Fort Gordon for like, wow, as long as I was there for like 4 months, and then I was on the CBWTU, the home-based Wounded Warrior program deal, right? I wasn't at Walter Reed. I had like 7 or 8 surgeries, and I felt people were like, "Oh man, this must suck." And like I hear you guys tell your fuck stories, I'm like, "Fuck, dude, like, it hurts me to walk. Like my back hurts, my knee hurts. Like I still got my shit. I got all my parts. You know what I mean? So I don't feel that. I mean, like you guys are fucking studs, and
I always go back to some gave all gave some. You know what I mean? It's you're either dead or you're alive. And we're all living, and we're just trying to do the best we can. I mean, that's what it boils down to. I mean, Adam's living proof of it, man. He's making the best of a shit situation, and I'm sure he doesn't look at his life as a shit situation the same way that I don't look at my life as a shit situation. I'm just doing what I can. I'm doing the best I can and trying to make something of it, you know?
Remember the dude, he was my fucking, headmate or whatever. He lived in the fucking room next to me in the barracks, right? And down at Fort Gordon. And he had one above the knee amputation and he had fucking something else too. Oh, his hands were all fucked up and he wore these gloves, right? And so the army like bought him like an Xbox. And so like his he got hit with an RPG and his IBA like saved all his shit except for his arms and his one leg, right? And so he's like, yeah, the army pays me to fucking sit here and play Xbox all day. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty tight. And then they're like, and it was like his left leg was pretty high above the knee, probably like Adam was talking about, like, I think his femur was like half of what it should have been, right?
Right.
And so they're like, oh, we have to do they want us to fucking we got this new first sergeant. They're like, you guys go to PT. Everyone kind of looks at him like, you realize this is like the Wounded Warrior unit, right? We don't do that here. And he's like, oh, you guys got to pass height and weight. And he's like, oh, I'll fucking do that every day of the week. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, dude, I lost like fucking 70 pounds. And I was like, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we talk about the weird humor and shit that we can say and do that, like, everyone, like, if I said that shit around the wife, she'd be like, yeah, that's not funny. You guys can't do that. You can't joke about cutting your leg off. I'm like, why the fuck not?
Why the fuck not? Why not?
So like, for me, it's fun because I don't know. I don't miss that. Maybe I do a little bit. Like being around like that group of guys was fun, and I kind of missed that. So here, yeah, and everyone's kind of going through. Everyone's tests and trials are different, right? And always will be. That's life, man. It doesn't even matter like what you do exactly. Everyone's got a little bit something different they're going through.
Yeah.
When it's similar enough that you can relate to what they're talking about, it puts your life in a perspective, no matter which perspective you want it to be in. So that's why, like, when you're doing this, and like I said, first off, you guys are funny as fuck, and I can see her laugh and just I put it on mute because I'm not interrupting your shit. I feel like the dude off the Tonight Show, that sold Publishers Clearinghouse, the Ed McMahon,
right,
didn't really fucking chuckle, and I don't want to do that like when you're trying to like talk and shit, but the rest of it, like, it's just nice to me to kind of puts me back in that mode, and I can just kind of relax and enjoy it, and it's good. It helps me, and I enjoy it. So
absolutely. No, as I said, I'm so happy that we get these guys on because They are, for the most part, a lot of our guests are people that I know or people that I've been aware of, or friends or whatnot. But these are people that are legitimately funny or creative or talented or doing something that people should see. You know what I mean? And so I'm very fortunate to have that. And pretty soon we'll be expanding out of my personal Rolodex of friends and getting into some actual, let's call it, I don't know, Hollywood folks or actual entertainment. But I'm so happy to have a platform to talk to my friends and to get them some awareness or get them some a couple extra eyes on them and showcase what these amazing veterans are doing out there that are incredibly talented. It's just fun to get to, and it's just fun to get to talk to them. So that's been great. But let's go through one or two more stories and then we will shut it down for the night. I got some really really good ones to talk about. Oh man, how can you go wrong talking about the Tiger King? You just can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. For those of you that are worried that we're gonna run out of Tiger King, oh, don't you worry, don't you fret none, because obviously we've got the series that they want to keep doing. We've got the scripted series that they're going to be doing on Carol Baskin, and the scripted series they're going to be doing on Joe Exotic. There's one more thing to add on to the pile of Tiger King media. They are doing a comic book adaptation, which, I mean, it's right up my alley. Take a look at this. This is the infamous Tiger King comic book. I mean, what the fuck? Like, seriously. TMZ actually has revealed the first look at the infamous Tiger King, its own comic book adaptation. It's a comic book series that acts as both a sequel to the Tiger King Netflix series and as an origin story prequel for the life of Joseph Allen Shruvgabal, whatever his name is, the man who the world would come to know as Joe Exotic. There are some pictures in there that I couldn't even show you. They are not pulling punches with this comic book. I mean, even going as far as depicting sexual abuse and things he suffered as young as 5 years old growing up on a Kansas farm. The comic makes good use of interviews and footages and draws inspiration from all the stuff we've seen. They even pulled in material from the April 2020 interview of Jeff Lowe that was recent. So they're pulling in from all this stuff. As a medium, comic book is, I think, the right medium, because everyone always said like this is ridiculous. This show is it seems so fake because of how ridiculous it is, but like that plays really well into the world of comic books. Like this is like easily could be a supervillain or some type of sidekick or number two servant or whatever the hell. But it's going to be a thing. And thoughts? Tiger King comic book?
I love it. I'm gonna call it a graphic novel. That's not fuck comic book. That's fucking. But it is kind of true. I mean, I don't know. Like, if they're gonna do like you're kind of talking about, where they're actually telling the story and shit, graphic novel actually seems very fitting for it.
Right.
And I'm excited for it. I fucking love Tiger King. The fucking world. And if they can act, I love it. I love the idea. I love everything about this. I love the cover. I actually do. I love it.
And speaking of the cover, because me being a nerd, I was like, I've seen this somewhere before. And I did a little digging, and so you just get my head into frame here. This looks very similar to something I've seen before. It is The Amazing Spider-Man. That is they are paying homage to Kraven the Hunter. and Spider-Man. I mean, I mean, that is damn near spot on. If you can see this, it is gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. These guys know what they're doing. The guys that are doing the artwork for this, they know what they're doing. They are hitting on the classics to make something good here. So, yeah,
I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh my god, I can't. Please. But here's the other thing too. They can do the origin story in the comic book, right? They could do all that.
yeah, yeah.
They could also make that just go fucking nuts with it. Make it like Tiger King fucking the crime fighter, and he can just he could have like a Tiger's on call, and like he just like whistles and like has his AR-15 in his fucking 44, and he's like pew 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 pew, Carol fucking Baskin, and then like the Tigers like go in, oh yeah, and he could like feed him Walmart meat, fucking pizza and shit. Fucking, I love it. I love everything about it.
Oh, I mean, it's great. You can't go wrong, man. You can't go wrong. I think that's, yeah, it's Tiger King comic book coming to a store near you, I guess.
Next to right next to you and AK.
Oh man.
Whoever's illustrating that can do yours as well.
Yeah,
CQB.
definitely. That's who I want. The prestigious artist that did the infamous Tiger King comic book to do my artwork. All right.
Even better. No, dude, you can team up with AK, right? He could be like your fucking sidekick in this shit, right? And he could have like a belt with like different legs, like make him do all kinds of shit, like rocket legs and like a machine gun leg.
Yeah,
dude, I'm telling you, I will write the script for this thing.
I want a go-go gadget kind of partner. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. Go gadget, leg and hand. It'd be perfect.
That's right. He's got a flamethrower. And what was that one? The one movie, the chick, she had the fake leg, but it was like an M16 or something like that.
Yeah, what was it? It was a Tarantino movie, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was either Tarantino or Robert Rodriguez. It was one of them. One of those weird guys that came up with it. But anyway.
He can have that in real life. I'll make him one.
We should definitely do that. That'd be hysterical. Yeah. So that's a thing coming soon, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely enjoy that. And the last bit of news we'll cover is it's a bit of a PSA. In a little bit more, I like to close these with a little WTF news. So, can you tell your kids, like, I'm all for obviously superhero stuff, all for it, obviously. And when my child is of age, I'm gonna sit him down and go, look, this is all great, this is all fun, but it's not real. And let's make sure that children can identify, because pretend and play things and imagination can sometimes run wild. There's a story that 3 little boys let a black widow spider bite them because they thought they could get superpowers. Okay? Let your kids know that this is all fun. But it's all make believe, not real. And if they do anything, if they mess with radiation or spider bites or any of that stuff, they will probably die. So according to this report, 3 brothers ranging from 8 to 12. So 12 was the oldest. You would think that, 12 might know better. But ages 8 to 12, they found a spider as they were looking for sheep. Apparently they had sheep. The mother was off doing something when they happened upon the spider. They provoked the venomous creature, and they got bit. And so the children started exhibiting symptoms, which included severe muscle pain, abdominal cramps, increased heart rate, muscle spasms, which I'm sure to them meant it was working, because if you've seen any of the Spider-Man movies, he gets bit, he goes through all these fucking symptoms, and then he gets powers. So they're probably thinking like, shit, this worked. But instead, the boys were taken to a health center, given medicine. Their condition did not improve, so they needed to be taken to a hospital, continued to get worse, and were transferred to a specific children's hospital. And only after being given a special kind of serum, the boys finally started to improve and were eventually released from the hospital after 5 days. Once again, please tell your kids that this is all make believe, and they're only gonna die if they try something stupid like this. Um,
Nope, nope. Don't tell them shit. Don't tell them anything. Don't warn them for or against.
why? So they learn their own lessons.
We got a Darwinism this shit, right? There's been just saying.
So survival of the fittest is what you're saying. They if they're dumb enough to try it, that's their fault. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, in a way, but okay, their theories are sound. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because when I think, I'm bored. I mean, it's the Rona. Like they're probably bored. Parents kicked them off Fortnite or some shit, right? They're like, well, we gotta turn this. What'll happen? I'm bored.
Yeah, Christopher Burr's out there. He says they'd have been fine if they were wearing their reflective belts.
Right. Obviously, they weren't hydrated.
Good point.
If they'd have changed their socks and took a Motrin, they'd probably be a fucking superhero.
Drank some water, rubbed some dirt in it, they'd have been fine. And he says that they're obviously idiots because you're supposed to microwave the spider first. And yeah, I mean, I don't. The report doesn't say that they tried that, so they didn't do their homework apparently.
Really not.
But yeah, I mean, you know.
You feel sorry for the kids. I get it.
I'm a bleeding heart, man.
Action left in you, and I'm not gonna fault you for that. I've got too many kids, man. I know.
Hey, you know what it is? I think I know my son, and that sounds like some shit he would do, and so that's why I'm going to sit him down and have a conversation. My kid lives as if he were auditioning for a stuntman's role 24 hours a day. That's how my child lives. And so I'm absolutely sure that if he could connect the dots of like, oh, Spider-Man got bit by a spider, I'm going to go get bit by a spider. So, yeah, I feel you guys. I feel you out there. With your kids. Just don't let them play with spiders. That's all I'm saying.
Tell them to be a real-life superhero, to get rich as fuck and be like Iron Man.
Yes, build, get smart, get rich, build a suit of armor. Or be Batman. Get rich, get a butler, and beat up criminals in the middle of the night. I mean, I'm okay with that too. So, as long as rich is in the title somewhere. But
yeah, rich AF.
Oh man. Alrighty. Well, that brings us to the end of our show, man. As usual, it was phenomenally well talking to you. I enjoyed our conversation. Do you feel that you've gained more knowledge than you came in with?
Yeah, I just saw the sweetest fucking comic book ever.
You know, yeah, that's it. You're gonna want to get a mint condition, #1, first printing, put it in the bag, seal it, put it away, man. That thing will be worth millions.
I don't think that's a thing anymore. I think the stuff you look back on it, the stuff that's really worth a shit ton of money was stuff that no one thought was gonna be worth money. And there's like 2 of them left, and they're like, "Oh shit, maybe we should have saved some." So now it's like baseball cards, right? Remember baseball cards when we were kids?
yeah.
Like, and people were like, oh, "They're stupid," and then like they got really expensive for like a minute. So like they made 1 million baseball cards, right? Now they're not worth shit again, except for like the really old ones who people like, I don't know, like people like our parents put in their baseball or their
the bike spokes. Yeah.
We'll do dumb shit. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, it'd be cool. I think it'd be cool just to tell the story about it. Like, yeah, I was talking about it on the radio, and then I went and I special ordered this fucking Carol Baskin.
Yeah, and let me tell you that. Google some of the images. I didn't feel comfortable putting some of the images from that comic book on this show tonight, but there's some stuff. There's some stuff out there. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Google at your heart's content. But all right, guys, we did it. We have come to the end of another amazing show. I want to thank all you guys for sticking with us and being here. If you're listening to the podcast, thank you so much. Mr. Radar, do you care to give us a little sign off here?
I can. You've been listening to almost called Tied Up Tuesday. It's not Tied Up Tuesday anymore. That's been for fucking ever.
Months, man.
Oh God, I'm dumb. It's a pop culture warrior. It says it on my computer screen. on the 2nd of June, 2020, with CQ and myself, Radar. It has been so much fun tonight. Tomorrow night is a day off. We come back on Thursday night with Sergeant's Time. Sergeant's Time is going to be with Ice and myself this week. Little heads up on that one. And then Friday and Saturday or more days off because we'd like to take days off around here. And then Sunday, you got Kicking It with Cause. Cause and Owl Team Mole will be out there giving you all kinds of their fun stuff. Man, they have a good show. They really do.
They do.
If you haven't heard it, you need to check it out. And then Monday night, you have the Monday edition with Ice and Flash. They'll be bringing you all the latest, greatest, hot off the press stuff. I think last night was Shipwreck on there with him, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I only heard like a very slim part of it. I was busy, but I do love the Monday edition. It's a good show as well. And then back to Tuesday night with us. It's just a fun week.
That's right, man. I'm very excited. We haven't announced a guest for next week yet. We'll see how that shakes loose. We're putting some things together. If not, then it'd be me and you riding like the old days, man. It's been a minute since we had a nice 2-hour chat.
Has it been? It's been like a month and a half, hasn't it?
It's been quite a while. I think we've had six. I want to say 6 back-to-back guests every week. It's been awesome. It's been fantastic. I do miss our long chats though. So we might have one of those coming up here soon. So, alrighty, buddy. Well, until next time. This is CQ and Radar signing off for the night. We'll see you guys. Next time. Shots.
You